Ba 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 ba. Bastards, in nomine Patris, Filii, Spiritus Sancti, Amen. Welcome to Sunday Mass. It's very early today, and I had to really juggle what I was going to do because I have my great niece's graduation today, and that's in the early afternoon, and I have to take a train. And I was like, I'm not going to do a gonzo because that would be crazy bringing all that equipment and all that stuff along with me for this. So I just figured, a lot of you guys are in Europe, and I apologize to all my dear, dear bastards who are in the US, but I wanted to get Sunday Mass in. I didn't want to skip it because I've got Bastards Gallery. I've got a lot of, Friday nights we don't do it. So I've got some pictures that I want to share, and Sunday Mass is the thing. Now, Emmett O'Malley. Genius, right? We all know this. So I was out to dinner with my niece Shay, who lives in London, and she is going back home today. So we hung out last night, had some dinner, blah 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 blah, and then Emmett shoots me an email. He's got a theme for Sunday Mass. Because he's just the most prolific artist I know. This guy just comes up with stuff so fast. And he had told me about it ahead of time. He said, "Oh, I have this idea. It's kind of Baroque, Bacchish." And I was like, "Oh, wow. Ears perk up. I'm very interested what that is." He sent it to me last night. It's too I have not even responded to him because I listened to it at like 1:00 in the morning. I have not even responded to him yet, so I'm saying it here live. It's freaking genius. It's absolutely gorgeous. It won't be as quick a turnaround, I don't think, because I think it requires a little bit of work on my part, because there's probably some serious vocal additions to be made here. I have not chatted with him about it, about what he'd like it, because obviously he wrote it, so he produces it and mixes it and stuff. So, but it is absolutely gorgeous. And his talent never ceases to amaze me, because the guy can write in any genre there is in the world. And it's really crazy is just like this guy just keeps coming up with stuff that is perfect every time. He's just amazing. And I didn't ask for any of it. This guy's he's just amazing. So thank you. I'm saying this publicly live, Emmett. You're a genius, and I love you, and thank you. I can't wait to work on it. I wish I could work on it today. Maybe I'll work on it when I get home tonight. I don't think I should be that late. I was thinking about, should I do early Mass or should I do later Mass? And I figured, you know what? A lot of you folks are across the pond, in way different time zones. So I thought maybe this might work as well. So let's see who's in the room and say hello to everybody. 30 in the room, more than I thought we'd get on this surprise. I only scheduled it a half an hour ago because I was like, what am I going to do? And plus I got to get my clothes together. It's a mess. Anyway, Andrew Wolkowicz, first in the box with Canadian $2 early Mass. Upvote and subscribe. Everybody's favorite cheerleader and the mascot of this channel. And I can't thank you enough. And what are we going to give you for that? What are we going to give you? The super chat gong, baby. RP 1960. Good morning, everyone. Good morning to you. It is 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time in New York. I got up at 8:00 and was like, what do I do? How do I figure this out? Dean, across the pond, good afternoon, Bashtastics. That's a new one. I haven't heard Bashtastics yet. Fantastic. Great to see you, and I love your new icon as well. RP 1960 says 7 a.m. here in California. Nice surprise. I'm glad it's a nice surprise for you. And I know Emmett gets up early, and I will call him in a while. He's in Los Angeles, the city of angels. And I guess on my train ride, I'll give him a shout and tell him about how great I think his song is. And I think you'll all be really surprised. And it's so perfect for Sunday Mass. It's so perfect. I'm so chuffed, as they say across the pond. Dave Fitzsimons is here. I'm Asher Spass. Let's bash. Amazing to you. Nathaniel Hannon. Hey, good morning to you. I know it's early for you too. Good morning. $4.99. Let's give you the husband. Isn't that funny? I love that guy. He's amazing. No worries. Congratulations to your great niece. Can you believe I have a great niece who's graduating from high school? My God, how does this happen? My beautiful identical twin nieces, the elder one by a couple of minutes, She's got a bunch of kids, and this is her eldest, and she's graduating from high school. We're so proud of her. Dean says Apple iOS 8 AI features from iPhone 15 Pro to the new one. Well, I have an iPhone 14. And isn't that just like Apple to cut out people who just recently bought a phone? My phone I got a year and a half ago. And I actually got it because when I was shooting the video for Seven Wonders for this great German guitar hero guy that asked me to participate on his Barnabas Sky album, I had an iPhone 11 and the camera just wasn't doing the trick. And I needed to add like me lip syncing to this song we wrote together. And so I got the iPhone 14 at the time, and I was like, oh, it's 48 megapixel camera, really great. I'll be bulletproof for a couple of years, right? And I won't have to worry about it. Well, no, because now they have this brand new feature, and I can't keep up with. And I don't. Oshin and I are computer geeks. He much more than I, because he does Windows and I don't. He and I don't watch the broadcasts anymore. We used to watch all the WWDC, and we used to watch all the Steve Jobs stuff, but ever since Steve left the planet, it hasn't been so exciting. And now AI, I can't even imagine what that is. I'll watch it at some point, and because I got to keep up with the Joneses, because I'm always asked to fix everything. And here we go. Thank you so much, Dean. Billy G, good afternoon, folks. Good afternoon to you, Billy G. Ladies and gentlemen, Jocelyn Bittenbender just subscribed to Patreon. Thank you so much. I'm going to send out your welcome video on the iBashers for everyone, so you can join the team and everybody gets to know you a little bit better. Beautiful woman, beautiful shot, lovely, lovely gal. Thank you so much. And so surprising. It was so surprising and frustrating. Friday night was such a frustration for me because we had this great idea. Well, Paul came up with the idea. He's like, how about Coney Island? I was like, oh my God, I never go to Coney Island. How great will that be? We'll go there. We'll do some rides. Good intentions. And who would have known that Coney Island has such crap internet? I mean, I was scrambling. I was using his phone. He has an iPhone 12, and he had 5 bars and I had 1. And I have an iPhone 14 Pro. So I just couldn't figure out. We tried so valiantly, and I apologize for the crap visuals. Then I had an argument with the guy in the Cyclone because, of course, I wanted to take my camera on there, and they wouldn't let me. They made me check my bag. It was just such a mess. I really had planned out a really wonderful time, and I thought, because it's such an unusual place. It's this, fun fair, amusement park. On the beach in Brooklyn, and it's in my backyard. It only takes about an hour to get there by train, and I was so excited about it, and I didn't even know half the time what was going on the screen because I'd lost signal. Oshin finally came on, and he was holding down the fort, and I appreciate that so much. And then, I mean, I guess I have to realize, being new to the Gonzo thing, that it can't always work out in the end. And sometimes it's brilliant. Like, how come I'm in the middle of Central Park and I'm getting perfect signal? Amazing. But then I go to this giant amusement park and there's nothing. They didn't even have public Wi-Fi. Some of it was okay once we got near the street. The restaurant was a weird part because it was a lovely, really turned out. And I apologize on the stream if I wasn't alluding to that place at all, but I was just talking about New York and, tacky and everything can be. That's a lost art. It's kind of disappeared, and I'm kind of missing it. So it's not even funny anymore because I miss all that real New Yorkese, people really having heavy New York accents, and it's relatively gone now. They couldn't have been lovelier. They allowed me to stream from the restaurant. The food was excellent. It was a real old school Gargiulo's. It was a real old-fashioned New York Italian restaurant, and none of the menu items were Italian American. They were all authentic to Italy, rivaling some of the food I've had there. It was so excellent. The people couldn't have been nicer. And Gargiulo's, if you're ever in Coney Island, I can't tell you how nice they were. Had a really beautiful bottle of Nebbiolo. It was excellent, 2016. Really very good. A terrific time. I mean, we had a good time. I'm just sorry that the visuals didn't follow suit. If there was a way um, to do it again with like some kind of booster, I don't think that exists. They say that it does, but I actually think at the end of the day, because I was talking to Nathaniel Hannon on WBAS.com, perhaps they were throttling me because of the data that I've been using doing the Gonzos. It's very possible that AT&T decided, that's my provider, it's my Vodafone, it's my O2, it's my Verizon, whatever you guys use around the world. Maybe they just see that I have an unlimited plan. Maybe they just decided that I was using too much data and they throttled me down. I mean, it's not fair and it's not nice, but it's possible, because I did look at my data usage and it was commensurate with what I've been doing. It didn't seem like I was going crazy or anything. And also, when I do these shows, I'm on Wi-Fi in my own home. So I don't know. I can't predict it. I don't have an answer for it, but I don't know. Thank you, Jocelyn. Welcome. And she subscribed to Patreon right after the 1 o'clock in the morning on the night of the Coney Island bash. And I'm grateful, because she sat through it and she saw all the super fine people that are here. You guys are the finest internet people, the finest YouTube gang in the world. I think what we've cultivated here is a great little group of kindness and looking out for each other. And welcome, Jocelyn. Thank you so much. I'm flummoxed. Thank you. Andrew says, OMG, Emmett is cool. He's the coolest. And not only that, he's just modest and all those things. And what I love is, you won't get to hear it. Maybe he'll let me put it on Patreon. But, he writes everything. I mean, he basically writes the whole song, lyrics, melodies, and he sings them on the demos. And I get to hear that. And I always like, it's great. Why don't we use you? He's like, no. Terrific. Really amazing. I can't tell you how amazing it is. The guy's just is overwhelmingly talented. And, it's crazy when I think about it. Like, I've known the guy for 25-ish years, and I've always thought he was, incredible guitar player, great writer with the band and Mr. North, but I didn't know the extent of how incredibly quick that guy is. And that's amazing. And it's very rare. Nick Sisto, another fellow patron. Good morning, everyone. Great to see you. You and your handsome face and your beautiful, beautiful, beautiful bride. Gorgeous folks. Andrew also says early and a midnight mass. Well, maybe. Hey, that's not a bad idea, midnight mass. I don't know who would be around for a midnight mass. Here's Russell. Great time for the UK. Well, I was thinking, maybe if I do it a little bit early today, that I might, shake the tree a little bit over there. I mean, I don't know how many people are tune in to this show in different countries. I don't have the thing. So I was like, maybe I'll get a couple extra people in here, but I'm happy that the core are here. I'm just happy to see you all. JR Watch, good afternoon from across the pond. Hey, I guess this time's good. Maybe we'll do it earlier. I don't know. 33 people in the room. How many upvotes? Let's see. Facilios P from Greece. Good morning, everyone. What time is it there? It's probably, 6 o'clock at night in Greece. RP 1964, $4.99. Cheers. Always up early. Great to hear. What will we give to you? Let's find Gong Woman 4. I love that one. Let's do Gong Woman 2 because it's so mysterious. She's doing some kind of crazy incantation, and we're all going to be in some kind of zombie state. Carlos Paggi, hey, Father Dirk and the Faithful Choir Boys and Choir Girls. Wait till you hear this song. It's certainly Father Dirk and the Faithful Choir Boys. That's what it's going to probably entail. It's probably going to need a bit of choir. And since I don't have a choir, I'm going to have to be a choir. Thank God I have multi-tracking. But that will require a little bit of arrangement because, people hear choirs all the time, but there's serious mathematics behind choirs. There's, sections of vocals, male, female, then there's sections of tenors and baritones and bass baritones and mezzo sopranos and sopranos. And there's so many different vocal arrangements that need to be done when properly. Now I could tell when I've heard the track so far, because it's I can spoil the recipe just a little bit. It starts off with some very Bach organ. He did some serious mathematics to craft this tune. And so, in turn, I guess I will have to, seriously think about choir arrangement in order to make this as big and as grand as he has, put out there. So it's pretty cool. Wait to hear it. I don't know how long it's going to take, but I will devote most of my week. If I don't know, maybe it could fall together easily. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Thank you, Carlos. CW Watch Enthusiast. Hey, buddy. Hey, Dirk and all the bastards. Heading to work tonight, but I'll catch up later. I'll send some photos. Please send some photos. I got some good photos today. Not a whole hell of a lot, but I don't do it on Friday, so it's always good to bring it home on Sunday Mass when I can. And I figured, listen, I had my coffee and I laid out my clothes and I took a shower. So you know what? At 11 o'clock, I'll just get my act together and then get on the railroad and head out to Long Island. That's where they still talk like that. How you doing on Long Island? You know what I'm saying? Andrew says, give a hint. Too much to hope that Sunday Mass is similar to a Roman Catholic hymn. No, it's not like a hymn. Not like a hymn at all. More like a Pie Jesu. I don't know. Bach and roll, maybe. You'll have to wait. You have to wait, my Andrew dearest. Technology, the more we create, the more we have things that can fail. I'm at the point right now when all of these updates come out, I don't even do them. I wait and I wait and I wait and I wait because I want to vet them. I want to hear what people say. I want to read on the internet because things that you have that stop working, especially if you're a musician or an artist or, whatever it is you do on the internet, on your computers, say you use, Photoshop or Pro Tools or Logic Pro or any of these programs that we use on a daily basis to do our work or our art or our craft or whatever it is. When you get an update, sometimes stuff stops working. And what had happened to me is, this is boring and I'll make it brief, but as a musician, we have these computers now and we have these things are called plugins. And basically when you're recording a vocal or a guitar or something, you have separate tracks, and you can put effects on them. And those effects are called plugins. And when you get an update, sometimes your plugins like reverb or delay or, any of these things that enhance something to make it just sound a lot more like a studio recording. Oftentimes the plugins that you have that you use on a daily basis, your core group of things will stop working. And it'll be like, well, because it's 16-bit and now it's only 32-bit or we're going 64-bit or whatever. Technical nonsense. People don't care. People just want stuff to work. They don't care about the excuses. Nobody wants to hear, it's 64-bit and my system's on. Who cares? Who cares? I mean, who cares? Nobody really cares. It's absolutely ridiculous that these updates, and they come so often now. Like now there's going to be AI and, I was explaining that to my father-in-law the other day. It's like, a couple of years, we're not going to be using cell phones at all. We're going to have something else, be it AirPods and we're tapping in the air or, we have a thumb thing. Maybe it's going to be a little ring that you put on your finger that you can just do stuff in the air. It's going to happen where we're not going to be using these things anymore. I mean, and it's gotten to the point too, like last night, let me get rid of that. Last night that we were walking around and we were in Chelsea. I haven't been in Chelsea in 1,000 years. And Chelsea used to be the really gay area of New York. Not anymore. Everybody was doing this. Everybody was buried in their phones at tables at restaurants. They're sitting with 6 other people at a table and everyone's buried on their phone like this. And they're just, why are you at dinner with people? Why are you at dinner with other human beings if you don't want to interact with them? You're like, and we were talking about there's a group of girls next to us and they were very cute and sundressy and all the great stuff for summer, and none of them were paying attention to one another. They were all, and one girl was doing this and I was like, oh shit, she's not on a dating app. And then she had turned around and she was showing the other girl the person that she thought was, what do you think of this one? And the girl was like, ew. And she just went, who knows? Maybe he's a super nice guy. They're a nice guy. I don't know. Whatever. Maybe they're super sweet. People just don't know. That dating, I am so grateful. I have no part in that whatsoever. I am so, so grateful. So grateful, because why would anybody want to be there? Horrific. Did I give you the did I give you did I give you the bang for that? I'm gonna do it again because I don't know if I did. Because I'm just digressing. Just in case. um asked Timmy to write you a cheat sheet for Gonzo streams. Yeah, well, Timmy was going to show up and then he didn't. But then we were in the restaurant for like 2.5 hours, and it was late, so it was time to get the hell out of there. You know, really was. Hey, Josh Ritter, PLN 25. Good morning, Dirk Mayer. Coffee be strong. You know, I don't know what's happening, but like I'm a big espresso guy, and I drink 2 double espressos in the morning usually. But I don't know, something is not well in the digestion category. I don't know if I just drink way too much coffee or I don't know what it is. But I'm doing 1 double in the morning now, and I don't know. I hope something. I always said the day that happens is the day I jump off the bridge. So I don't know. I've been doing like just a single in the morning. Very strong though, because I like very, very, very strong coffee. So let's give you the super chat gong 2. Thank you so much for that, Josh Ritter. RP 1960, great hat. Yeah, I love a good hat too. Hey, Herbinator, perfect Sunday afternoon listening from the UK. Hey, cheers, mate. Happy Sunday, Dirk. Happy Sunday, Herbinator, to you. Facilios P, 5:15. Okay, that's not so bad. Here's the Grubbers Wrench, Carolyn Martin. Early start. I just left Mass for this, so Dirk, you may have some splaining to do. Did I actually pull you out of actual Mass? I think that's awfully nice. I do like to catch a Mass once in a while. I don't go as often as, I should or want to, but I did go to I went to the Easter Vigil, and that was, I don't know what it was. That was right after Laverne left me, and I was vulnerable. Who knows? Andrew says, Carolyn, all is forgiven in your heart if you repent and are pure, right? Are any of us pure? Do you have impure thoughts? Forgive me, Father, for I've sinned. I have impure thoughts. I don't even know what you should say. Carolyn says, you speak the truth. It's true. David Simons, looking forward to the first 24-hour iBasher stream. Who needs time zones anyway? That's a very interesting thing. I'll need to get I'll have to get one of those battery banks. And I'll have to make sure that I'm in a place that has consistent internet. Maybe it would be cool to do a 24-hour iBashers telethon with tons and tons of guests. Like have, Dana and Emmett and Andrew and Carolyn Martin, all the regular cast of characters. Maybe I should just keep it open. That's such a great idea, David Simons. What I should do is I should do a 24-hour telethon and have everybody come in, and I'll put the guest link in, and everybody, all the bastards become guests for 1 24-hour stream. Would that be crazy? I actually like that idea. I think it's really cool. Note to me. Thank you, Dave. Peter DeLuca, hey, went into a Rolex AD 2 days ago, had a casual talk with one of the sales reps. Yesterday, got the call for a sub with the date. My mind was blown. Isn't it happening all over the place? People are actually not waiting anymore. I mean, it's very telling. Either they ramped the living crap out of production, and we're talking about Rolex, aren't we? Or it's just that people are buying, a lot of gray market or not buying at all. So now you went into the Rolex AD 2 days ago and had a casual talk with one of the sales reps. And then you got the call 2 days for a sub. Wow. The sub is that's like, I don't know if that's going to happen with the Daytona, but sub is still like, it's the classic. It's the one everybody still wants. It's the benchmark. When I think Rolex, I think that. I mean, I do. I think Submariner, date, no date. As it's the benchmark. It's their flagship, isn't it? Still their flagship, even though they've got models that are way more expensive. But it's the one that set the standard for that company, and it's really, other than super casing and a couple of other things, hasn't really changed that much. It aesthetically looks pretty close. And you could still get, the older ones with the older cases, but and who knows how long that's going to last anyway with the super cases. I know that the Milgauss is going to come out, and I know they're going to come out with a super case on it. They're going to come out with it. It's going to be, amagnetic, and it won't have a Faraday cage, because it'll have silicone hairsprings. It'll have all that stuff. And, I mean, I just love the oyster case on this watch because it's just reminiscent of days gone by. Is it you going to focus today? You going to focus? You going to be nice to me today? Sometimes you will, sometimes you don't. Sometimes I can set this to focus, and sometimes I can't. So let me go take a look at that and see if it's going to allow me to do that. Here you go. Focus. Let's see if it does it now. Okay. It might do it now. And it did. Look at that. I got to make sure I have that setting on all the time. This is, the Milgauss. You can't see because I have a green screen because it does that. And this is I have the disposable Nespresso pods that I make myself with Julius Meinl or Kimbo. And I take one of the tops, and every once in a while I just replace it on the back because I'm ever so petrified I'm going to scratch the inside. And also it says, it's one of the very few Rolex that say what the watch is on the back, on the back of the Milgauss. It says Milgauss, Milgauss, Milgauss. Not very many models do that. And I just want to keep it. That's, probably eventually I'll stop. But wow, congratulations. Are you going to get it? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Let us know. Andrew says, Carolyn, I was raised Roman Catholic. I've been in the shadows as times in my life, far more peace and light. There definitely is. Listen, I've said this a million times. It doesn't matter what religion you are, what faith you came from. Faith is everything. Without faith, without hope, we have nothing, But, regardless of the rules and regulations and things that they tell you to do, you can sweep a lot of that away and just take the basic tenets of faith, which is be a good person, hold the door open, say please and thank you, do an act of kindness. And it doesn't have to be every day. You can still call people a son of a bitch or whatever the hell you think they are, because they're out there too. I had this guy on the roller coaster. Okay, I had my man bag and I had a camera and I was hiding it, thinking I'm being slick. But it turns out you weren't even allowed to bring a bag on there. There was an actual check, and I did it. He was talking about, I don't know, making a steak. And in the very corner, I did get a shot of us over the roller coaster and going down, but then it crapped out. But I just thought it would be fun to get that. I see people shoot videos all the time on roller coasters. So, what is it with that? Because that thing's made out of wood and nails, and it's going to fall apart and people are going to die. And they just don't watch that at all, Who knows? Andy Dufresne from Vienna watching the French Open final. Can I just make an admission that without Roger, I have really just not cared, because tennis is, I'm not a good tennis player. I'm a very big tennis fan. I always have been. And before Roger, for me, it was Andre. And without Roger in that sport, the grace, the elegance, I don't see anybody else representing the game and sportsmanship and being a gentleman as much as he did. The things that Roger brought to that game, I still will forever say he's the greatest that's ever played, even though he doesn't hold the records anymore. The power is just ridiculous now. Novak Djokovic, not the most likable person. And I did like him for a long time, but eventually he just got so incredibly douchey that it was just impossible for me to defend him anymore. He just seems like an arrogant asshole. And I don't know him personally. I know people who do know him, and he's hot or cold. But I used to love his impressions and the funny stuff and the antics. And then when he went gluten-free, he could never finish a match. He'd be up against Roger or Rafa or anybody. All these amazing power hitters. Who's the tall American guy? John, who he was serving faster than anybody. He was all aces, nonstop aces. I forget his name. Had a brief moment. Andy Roddick, guys like that. He couldn't finish the matches, and then when he finally went gluten-free and he became that lean, mean machine, and now he's got I don't know how long it's going to take for anybody to come near him. I mean, the only maybe if Roger came back, or if Rafa wasn't injured all the time, it could happen. I don't know. It's insurmountable at this point, I think, right? Or close. I mean, Serena Williams, anybody like Steffi Graf had it for how long? 15 years she had the record, and finally it was eclipsed by Serena. I mean, anybody who saw the Williams sisters start out in the early days, I mean, you knew Serena too, because Venus was great, but Serena had that wild abandon and that passion. You could just see it, and she had the power. So I knew it was going to get close. Of course, I never wanted Steffi to get toppled because I adore Steffi Graf. Andrew says, I heard that a bar in England put a Faraday cage so people have to talk to each other. People threatened to take him to court. Why not just go to a different bar? Because everybody loves to sue everybody. Carolyn Martin says, remember upvotes, please, if you can. Just doing this little wild stream. Well, it's, full show, but just so I could make sure I had enough time to get on the railroad and get to my great niece's special day. It's a Labor Day bash-a-thon. Maybe we should do that. Think about it. People are getting the call, so naturally I know. Isn't that always the case, right? What is it that you want, Andrew? What is on your wish list? Let me know. I don't even know, because you and I almost never talk about watches, even though it started out with watches and the show's kind of gravitated to, there's still watches here. We still talk about watches, but it isn't as watch centric as it used to be. So cat centric and dog centric and your boat centric and your motorcycle and your service to your country and all the beautiful things that you stand for. And that's beautiful, man. Gene says it must be a family-owned Rolex AD. Most Rolex authorized dealers would not even let you have a sub as your. I know, but this is Dino. This is like the third person I've heard. This is the third person I've heard that was offered a sub like instantly. I mean, they might as well just let you go. Oh yeah, I'll take that one. Okay, 1 minute. I mean, that's where it looks like it's going. I don't know. Andrew said, never understood that a person can make payments on a house, car, furniture, even show but not. Well, you can. You just put it on a credit card. I mean, the watch dealer's not going to let you do that. But, because they're luxury goods, houses, and those are, things you have to have. Those are essentials. They're luxury items. They're not things you need. They're things you want. So I get that, but, get a new credit card and just go, if you want to do it that way, and pay it off. I mean, that's how most people do it, unless you're buying, Richard Mille or something like that. I don't know. Peter DeLuca says, so the place wasn't family owned. It's actually a big, well-known jeweler that just got bought by Watches of Suit. Well, we know how that is. They sold me a Rolex Explorer 3 years ago, but that's the only purchase. Well, you have a history, and you got an Explorer. Did you get black or the white? What'd you get? Which one did you get? Let us know. I love the Explorer. Thank you, John Isner. Yeah, that's exactly who I was thinking of. I mean, John Isner, like, everybody eventually would beat him because he had no game. He was just 6'7" or 6'10", I think he is. And, he would just fire that ball at 150 miles an hour right into the corners, or straight down the tee. John Isner was unbelievable. I actually thought when he came out, I thought it was going to be lights out, but he didn't really have much game. I mean, the shot masters, the real ones, the Rogers, the Rafas, the jokers, those guys do math. It's chess on the court. They're I mean, when you watch Roger Federer play tennis, it's ballet. You watch Rafa play, it's World Cup. When you watch Djokovic play, it's just maddening because that guy comes up with such brilliant shots, because he never, ever, ever lets one go. He chases them all down. And that's probably, why you see a shot and then people are just like, fuck that, I'm not going to do it. He goes for every single one, every return. He's just unreal. I think his game is incredible. Don't love him as a person so much. Just some insight for people. The lady told me that the people at their business select who gets watches based off of who comes off as just being a decent person. Well, that's all the bastards, man, Mr. DeLuca. That's all the people that really like the stuff and aren't privileged little twats. And, daddy's buying it. Listen, I don't begrudge anybody for growing up with a silver spoon. Lucky you. I didn't in any way, shape, or form. But I don't think I ever wanted for anything. My parents were fabulous parents, and they made sure we went to, we all went to private school. And, my dad worked for American Airlines. My mom was a librarian. You know, there was no corporate honchos. And I don't begrudge that unless you become a complete and utter douchebag, which a lot of kids who never have to want for anything do, because they just, there's an old saying, he or she doesn't know the price of an egg. And that only means that you have no idea what things cost because you've never had to worry about them. How much does a dozen eggs cost? How much does a loaf of bread cost? How much does, gasoline cost? Petrol. People who, sadly, if you have great parents who happen to be wealthy, hopefully they'll instill some value system within you, make you do odd jobs to earn your allowance or things like that. I don't think we ever got an allowance. I don't remember that ever happening. I think the answer was no. More than ever, it was no. But I like that. I hope that that's true, Peter. Andrew says, Dirk, get yourself the Ray-Ban glasses that have a camera in the frame. Yeah. Oh, man. I don't know. How does that work? Does anybody know? Is it good? Is it bad? Is it stupid? Is it crap? I have no idea. I don't know. Have you looked at any of the demos of that stuff? I don't know. Dean says, Peter DeLuca, that explains it. As you have purchase history, that's how you got the watch. It took me under 3 years to get the Rolex Starbucks. And I have bought 6 Rolex models from them. See, that's not nice. I mean, 6. And also, it's like, the way I look at it is this way. It's like people get the worst mortgage rates when you have the worst credit. Like if you don't make enough money, people who have the best credit and the most amount of money in the bank get the lowest interest rates, which makes no sense. It's just because they know that you're going to pay it back, so they'll give you a better deal. There's no leg up for somebody like the new couple. How does a new couple buy a house now and start a family? I'm talking about United States kids. I know that in Europe, that socialized everything is much easier. You get 10 weeks off or whatever it is. You get way more than that off for childcare when you have a baby. Both men and women, both mother, father, and that's beautiful stuff. Here, you're in Schitt's Creek. Whatever you got to finagle it. You got to work it. You have to come up with an angle, beg, borrow, and steal. Because if you're a young couple in your entry level positions in your jobs, you're not going to get an attractive, if you get a loan at all, you're not going to get an attractive interest rate. But the person that's, the entitled little silver spoon twat who has been able to, coast through life not knowing the price of an egg, if he needed a loan, which he probably wouldn't, he'd probably get the lowest loan ever. And, I'm not going to get into the whole foreign nationals getting 1% loans over 30 years to buy in the United States. That I don't get, and that should not even be legal. Either way, I'm very grateful. Went in there wearing my speed. I love that. You are ballsy bastards. That's great that you did that. Hey, man, they're not going to deny you because, they don't have that. They have the Daytona. And the Daytona is just a speedy wannabe to me. I've never wanted one of those watches ever. They're just too over-engineered. I don't know what it is about them, but man, I love how ballsy you are, man. You know what? I'm going to give you a little ding for that because you made me feel great. Let's give you that. You deserve it for your balls. You went in there with your speedy and you left with it still on. Amazing. Andy Dufresne says the longest Grand Slam history of tennis was the 11-hour, 5 minutes Isner. And yeah, Mahu. Yeah, first round. Remember that? God, was that 2004? Was John Isner that long ago? Oh my God. Where does the time go? Wow. Shit. God, John Isner, he was a baby. And now that. Unbelievable. Fifth set. Yeah, it was 70. It was insane. I watched it. I can't believe it was that long ago. Dean says, don't bother with yeah, I'd heard bad stuff. The battery doesn't last long. So good for your live stream. Is it a gimmick? I know. Who knows what's up with that stuff? I have no idea. Dave Fitzsimon says, massive congrats, Peter. Name checking eye bashers obviously swung it. I'm sure it did, right? Well, I'm a bastard. I'm a bastard. You're a bastard. Wouldn't you like to be a bastard too? And he says, thank you. You know what? Hey, guys, let's get into everybody's favorite part of the show. Here it comes. The gallery of bastards. Send me the shots. The sublimely absurd. The gallery of bastards. You share them with me. Share with the world. That's what I'm talking about. The gallery of bastards, people. Let's start it off with everybody's favorite dynamic duo. It's Mork and Mindy from Melly C. Yay! Oh, look at him having a snoozy snooze. I miss the beauty of, I wake up every day and I feel so lost without Laverne. I just don't know what to do with myself. I just, not having the, I'm a caretaker. It's very weird to just like worry about what I got to do. Look at that. Oh, look at that. Look at you sleeping on the couch with your Carole King. Is that a Duran Duran record? What record is that? Can I blow this up? I can, right? What is that? I know that cover. I mean, it's Nagel, right? Is the artist. I love the turntable. Very cool. Oh, Mindy, you're killing me. Wow. You're so beautiful. I love Mork, but I've got a super crazy crush on Mindy. You know that. There's no way around it for me. Eric Christensen. Oh, look at this. Oh, more of his mirror art, which I love. Reclaiming old windows. I have one that's in bad shape in my house. It needs to be repainted because it separates my kitchen from my living room. And it's, we put it up because Paul makes these as well. And the heat from the stove cracked them. So that's got to be redone, but it's beautiful. That's gorgeous. I love that. And you never know where something like that comes from. Very cool. Is that yours? Oh, here's a bunch of them. Isn't that lovely? Teal, the color of my Telecaster, which you can't see because I have a green screen. And anything green is out. Beautiful. Thank you there, mister. How great. Andrew Wolkowicz. Oh, bunnies in his yard. Look at that. I always worry about them. I know they're bunnies and they're wild and stuff. And my in-laws have this big giant backyard way out on Long Island. And whenever she's like mowing the lawn, she has to watch for them because they hide in the tall grass, which is not smart when you're coming with a John Deere. Not a good thing. Look at you beautiful bunnies. Aren't they cute? What do the girls say about the bunnies? Do they see them? Is there an issue? Is there a thing? Does it make them crazy? It must, right? Did you just show up? Melly C, were you in the chat already? You were, right? Weren't you? Were you here already? Just showed the kids a second ago. You know what, Melly C? Just so you know, you're being represented because we love you. Let's get a quick Mork and Mindy back on the screen. Oh, is Mork sleeping? And I wanted to know if that was a Duran Duran album now that I know that you're here. Next to Carole King. What is that? I know that cover, and I should know the name of the bands, but I don't remember. What is that on, Mindy? Destroying my soul with Mindy. I just told the gang, I said I have a super crush on Mindy, but you know all about that. You know all about that. Easy E says, perfect for Sunday Mass. Look at this. He made this? Okay, I don't understand. Made my own vegan leather magnetic bookmark from scratch, plus sanded and restained and all with cherry stain. This is why you guys are amazing. So creative. Let me get that. Oh, sorry, I didn't realize I had that on the screen. I'm so bad with getting the comments off the screen. Okay, let's get this going. This is Easy E with his craftsmanship. Carolyn, look out. He made the bookmark out of leather, and he resanded and restained the all with cherry oil. Wow. Did you weave that mat while you were at it? basket weaving. That sounds like something you would do when you're really stressed out, right? That's beautiful, man. Look at that bookmark. Huh. Never ceases to amaze me, the creativity of the bastards. Amazing. Thanks, Easy. What do we got here? Dean. More stuff from Dean. Oh, some more garden stuff. Great. We love to look at that. Some flowers. Flowers. Beautiful. I mean, this is an awful lot of work. Hey, I want to ask you a question, Dean. So, like, my basil plant it was doing very badly, and now it's really doing very, very well. When it starts to flower, do I need to snip those at the base of the flower or cut that whole stem off? Because it's got flowers and seeds on the bottom of it. So, like, obviously, I want it to bush out, right? So, I haven't picked any basil yet this year at all, but it's growing out, but I'm getting seeds and flowers. Now, that's like when you're supposed to get rid of that, right? Because then that kills that particular vein of the bush. Let me know, because I know you know about that. Beautiful. Oh, slate, brick. Even the composition of this is great. These are beautiful flowers. Oh, wow. Look at that. That's very pretty. Very Tudor environment. Is that a doghouse? What's in there? What's in there? Is there kitty cats in there? I see somebody in there, right in there. What is that? Who is that? Who is that, Dean? I want to know. I want to know. Fergal McDermott is here. Oh, look at these shots. Let me read what he says here. Some of my previous minis and minis. Okay, hey, great. He's a big fan of the mini. Let me get that going. Wow. This is vintage, bro. Wow. Yeah, why don't cars look like that? And cars all look the same now, don't they? Mostly. Most consumer cars. I'm not talking about the cyber truck or any of that bullshit that's out there. I'm talking about all the sedans and the coupes. They all just look like bubbles. They don't have the personality. That's a great color. Oh, man. Is that like, I mean, it's orange, but what kind of orange is that? Can I get this smaller? Why is this blowing up on me? Hold on. There you go. I went crazy. That is a gorgeous color. I would get that color. It's my blue and orange are my favorite colors, and that's a very nice orange. It's kind of like a mandarin orange, or it's very pretty. As Paul would say, it's orange with a lot of red in it. Oh, and a convertible. Oh man, look at that. Wow. Looks great as a convertible. No roll bar, huh? No roll bar, huh? Is that dangerous? Oh, look at this one. Yeah, that's the one you want. That's beautiful. Holy crap. I like the vintage ones. And the new ones are great, obviously. But oh man. Oh, you've had a lot of minis, kiddo. Wow. The racing stripes are great. You know what? There's a lot of, what are they called? Clubmen, the 4-door ones here. Oh, that's great. Look at that beautiful countryside. That is a great roadster. Oh, look at this. And I'm gonna get this name wrong, but there's a guy in my neighborhood who's got one with, it's called like Abart, I think it is. I'm gonna get that name wrong. Some kind of special package on the mini, and I believe it's Abart. I've also seen a Fiat with that too. I don't know what that means. That's cool. Great house, dude. Great manor house. Yeah, I love the vintage. Really super cool. Oh wow. Have I seen this building before? Is this in like what was that? Peter's Friends? Was this house used in that movie, Peter's Friends? You know which movie I'm talking about? British kind of rom-com, I guess it was. Or Four Weddings and a Funeral. What place is that? It's beautiful. Oh, that's a great look. And I love how you did that. Trickery with black and white photograph with a little bit of color in it. It's very, very cool. Some animals see like that, don't they? Oh, that's amazing. Wow, you're quite the collector. I love this one too. This is really super cool. Wow. 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 Thank you for that. That was amazing. Absolutely amazing. Rob is here. His ukulele. Hey, I have a ukulele in my room somewhere. I just buried it. It's behind all the boxes. Look at this. Very cool that we have the first uke on the show, huh? Look at that. It's a Kamaka. You've got a Kamaka. That's a great brand. It's only two brands. Well, I mean, if you get a vintage Gibson one, sure, but like the Martin and the Kamaka are incredible. My dear friend Louisa is a wonderful ukulele player, and she has a Martin and a Kamaka. Those are beautiful. Mine is some weird, shitty third world brand. I don't know what it is. I need to get a really great uke. Wow, that's cool. Wow. Wow. Thanks, Rob. Thanks so much. Thank you so much for that. Back to the chats. That ends the gallery of masters. Send me the shots, the sublime, the absurd. The gallery of masters. You share them with me, and I share with the world. Thank you, gang, for all those pictures. It's funny, Peter DeLuca had just said, I think we're due for the Gallery of Bastions video. And there it was, right on cue. Amazing. Andrew says, congratulations. Perfect sub. Fantastic. You got the Explorer 1. 2 is beautiful, but something about the 1 is just me too. I know everybody's crazy for the Explorer 2. I know they are, but man, I love the Explorer 1. I love it. So it's the motels. I knew the record. I watched the Cyndi Lauper documentary yesterday, which is on the Paramount Plus network. Big fan. I love Cyndi. She's a much better singer than she gets credit for because of her, her mentality and stuff. I mean, that's a big act, obviously. She mentions the motels. She mentions about how when they were originally going to put out her record, they wanted to put out Time After Time as the first single. She goes, no. She goes, look what happened to the motels. They put out the ballad first, and then they could never do rock. And the motels were a rock group, and the motels got screwed by that, and they were great. I love the motels as well. Andrew says, Peter, Explorer 1, dress up or down, nearly perfect daily. I should think. I agree, man. I think so too. I think it's a total dress watch. I love it. Andrew says it looks like a cat peeking out. We're talking about that little dog house or cat house. Are you going to tell us? Oh, it's wood for the fireplace. I thought it was like a ginger cat in the back. That's what I thought it was. Andrew says, Dean, some of us have cat issues and we see kitties everywhere. Couldn't be further. They couldn't be closer to the truth. Man, I see them everywhere. He's having a laugh. Hey, Robert Slunski. There is no A-Barth for the Mini. Oh, it's a Fiat exclusive. Thank you for maybe that was what I saw on the street. A-Barth, right? It's just, what does that mean, A-Barth? Is that like a trim package or or is that like an engine package? Educate me on that, if you will. Yeah. I knew that there was a Fiat up on the corner that had that, but I thought there was also a Mini. Obviously, I was wrong with another small car. Somebody's got one of those old Cinquecentros. That's a tongue twister. Cinquecento up the street for a restaurant we have in our neighborhood called Tonisol. And outside they have an old Fiat. The new Mini is made by BMW. Yeah, they're great cars. Yeah, sure, they're great, and they're very, 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 very popular in the United States. Carlos says that A-Barth is an Italian tuning company. Okay, so they do like an engine and trim package. Yeah, they have like the Italian flag on the bottom. They're very attractive, I have to say. Whenever I see them, it's just that word is not that great, and it's so not an Italian word. Like it should be Abarto or Barto, A-Barth. Is not really an Italian thing. It's like, Irish people and TH doesn't really exist. But it does in the written language, in this language, ending Italian words that end with, there's very few that end with consonants. Very strange. 209 loves the Motels. Oh, what a great singer, huh? Great band. Yeah, they got screwed by their record company because their whole trajectory was ruined by, when you put out, if you're in a band and you put out your first single, like here's a perfect example, the group Extreme. You know who they are, right? What's his name? Nuno Betancourt. Really crazy guitar player. They got famous off a song called More Than Words. All I need to do. It's like just them acoustic guitars and vocals. And a really huge selling song, #1 on the charts. Then Mr. Big, I'm the one who wants to be with you. Both of those bands' follow-ups flopped because everybody thought that they were getting like a Air Supply or one of these bands that would be more of a, Extreme is a funk metal band. It's very hard rock and very funky and, and a little bit corny. Um, but they had so many returns on their record because people were like, what is this? The album's called Porno Graffiti. And they bought the album if they thought there was another great song on that album called Wholehearted, which was acoustic based. And it was like 4 on the floor. That was a good song. But the rest of it was all like get the funk out. Very, 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 very funk metal. People didn't want that. And then Mr. Big, they were just a straight up rock and roll band, very good, consisting of some of the best musicians, Billy Sheehan and Paul Gilbert and Pat Torpey and Eric Martin on vocals. He had a bunch of hit songs on his own, and this conglomerate, they got together and they made this stuff, and they made this. My band had a single on our first record called Will You Be There? And like we were poised to go somewhere and it just didn't happen. Yay, lucky us. We were like, there's this industry magazine called the Friday Morning Quarterback, and it predicts what singles are going to be the big breakouts. Our album was on pre-release and it was #1 on Friday Morning Quarterback. So we were invited to this big jamboree and I met the guys in Mr. Big, and they hadn't put out To Be With You yet. That came later. And of course our record company folded the next like 2 days later, and that was the end of us. But we got to hobnob in that rarefied air, which was really kind of fun. And they played To Be With You. It was going to be on their next record, but he said we're going to bring it down. They played on a raft in the middle of a lake upstate New York. I'll never forget that party. And they said we're going to play a song, Bring It Down. It's from our next record. And they played that song, and hopefully they became millionaires off it, because I don't think they had another hit after that. But that's what happens. And how did I get on this? How did I get on that? I was talking about, the Motels. Yeah, so the Motels, they kind of, people thought that they were more of a ballad band, and they weren't. That happened to so many. Missing Persons, so many other bands. Very strange, yeah. Very strange. Yeah, Robert says that the scorpion is their logo. Yeah, I've seen that. It's like a little scorpion in the front. Vaughn is like, holy shit, what time is it? Phew, it's only 11. I thought I slept till 3 p.m. Vaughn, because I have to go to a family graduation today, so I decided to do it at 10 today, just so I make sure I didn't miss anybody, get everybody's Gallery of Bastards in and all that stuff. Andrew says he wonders how many different bands, what would have turned out to be amazing songs that didn't release or get promoted by the labels. Here's one worse than that, Andrew. One of you get a group of 10 people, 20 people, 30 people. Somebody in that group is an incredible pianist or an amazing opera singer or an amazing javelin player or decathlonist or whatever the word is for that. But they never attempted it or they never tried it. But imagine how many people like are better than Pavarotti. There's probably lots of them, but they never knew, they never found that they had a voice or thought that they had a voice. They never discovered they were a piano player or a trumpet player or a harp player. They never did it. I think about that all the time. How many people are really so much more talent? Talent is cultivated. You might have innate talent for sure, but talent can also be cultivated to make you bigger and better. And then, if you have a good innate talent, you might eventually excel. I don't know. I think about that all the time. Dean says, Vaughn, early bird catches the worm. That's the truth. Peter DeLuca, Dirk, what in your opinion is the greatest album of all? That's really hard. First one that comes to mind, if that's too hard of a question. I don't know. It changes. What do I think is the greatest album of all time? I don't know, Peter. Abbey Road. Probably. I mean, it's my favorite Beatles record, and the last one they made. Yeah, I guess I would say Abbey Road. For a rock record, for a classical record, or a jazz record, I guess, Blue, or almost Blue. I don't know. There's so many records. What are yours, Peter? Vaughn, Works. I thought we wanted to eat bugs, and the worms ate into his brain. Take the I out of Lover is such an iconic song. I agree. I take the L out of Lover. Sorry. Yeah. Over. It's amazing. It's impossible question. Every day is a different day. The greatest album of all time is the one you were playing. Well, that's smart too. Favorite Beatle, Paul fucking McCartney. Period. Listen, I'm a no nonsense, go to the head of the class talent guy, and he had the most talent because he was a guitar player. He became the world's greatest rock bass player, and he wasn't even a bass player. And I like his songs better than John's. They didn't really write together. Only in the early days did they write together. Later on, it was separate. And John's a whiner. And as much as I love John Lennon, Paul's the guy for me. Always will be. He wrote fucking Penny Lane. Also, think about this. Here's a good one for you. And I might have said this before, but it's funny. What's the chorus? I was alone. I didn't ride. I didn't know what I would find there. Ooh, when I suddenly see you. Ooh, and I want you near me every single day of my life. Gotta get you into my life. I was alone. I didn't ride. How many hooks are in that song? He just doesn't know how to stop writing. And then John's got I Am the Walrus. I hate Imagine, and people talk about how great that song is. I hate that song. I think it's like the worst song he ever wrote. He wrote A Day in the Life. Need I say more? I don't know. I love them all, though. I mean, people say pick a Beatle. I'm like, I'm not going to pick a Beatle. But if I had to, with a gun against my head, it would be Paul McCartney. Just saying. Watch the Coney Island episode on repeat. Restaurant. It was nice, and I profusely apologize for the lack of internet on that stream and blah 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 blah. And I'm sorry. Like things can only get better. So many changes in that tune. Yeah, Got to Get You Into My Life. How many? Or I think the Fifth Dimension, or who did that? Got to Get You Into My Life. Some like amazing soul band did that. Was it Earth, Wind, and Fire? I think it's them. Listen to that version. It's crazy. First, there's so many hooks in that song. I mean, I don't think you. I mean, She's Leaving Home, Yesterday, Michelle, Eleanor Rigby. Yeah, it's tough. Dean says my favorite Beatle is a Click Beatle. Well, if I have to pick a favorite Beatle, it would be a Ladybug. And that's all I have to say. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it's an hour in. I have to get ready for this graduation today. I cannot thank you enough for all coming here. You're all here. Yay. I love you all. Thank you so much for joining me on this very early edition of Sunday Mass. We're going to have a really great theme for Sunday Mass coming really soon, thanks to the incomparable Mr. Emmett O'Malley. Grateful to him as always, and grateful for all of you for showing up to my show. It's your show. I host it. Remember, that's all I do. Please send all of your beautiful bastard pictures to bastarddirk@gmail.com, the Bastards Gallery. It's your gallery. I just share it with the world, and that's all that I do. That's my job, right? And Vaughn says, Buona domenica, ci vediamo. Grazie, ci, tu. Okay, so that's it. Great show. Get to the party. Well, I'm going to the church, the school first, and then the dinner is later. David Simon says, whoop, whoop. Great show, Dirk. Thank you, guys. Thank you so very much. I want to thank, let's not forget, I want to just make sure I'm going to add that to you this morning, Jocelyn. Welcome to the Patreon. So grateful you're here. You're going to get a welcome message from the gang very, very soon. So grateful. Thank you so much. Guys, remember to hold the door open. Remember to say please and thank you. And always remember that when you encounter unkindness, you can't always know what that person's going through. Give them the benefit of the doubt. You know why? Because they might be having a really bad day. Either that or they're just a